You're listening to Orlando Credit Union's On the Money. I'm your host, Kaylee Green. And today I'm joined by Orlando Credit Union's Millenia location branch manager of retail operations, Kim Drobny. Hi, Kim.
Hey, Kaylee.
How are you today?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm so glad that you're here to talk with us. We are talking today about how Orlando Credit Union is servicing members through the MSC. So we'll get to what that means in just a little bit. But before we dive into that, I want to know about your background working in the financial industry.
Well, this month marks my 16 years with the credit union.
Wow.
I started off with the credit union running the MSC, our Member Service Center, and moved out to the branches about 10 years ago. And I have over 20 years of banking history.
So,
not that I want to give my age away.
We won't ask, but tell us a little bit about what you have experienced over the past 20 years within banking. I mean, things have changed drastically.
They have. I was there with the housing market that crashed in 2009, COVID, and now with our rates like astronomically high.
Oh yeah, things are just shooting up, I feel like, left and right. So that means a lot of questions are coming to us from our members. So that's what's so great about the MSC. I love that you clarified that it stands for Member Service Center. So that was going to be one of the questions I was going to ask you. So now that we kind of have that cleared up a little bit, I want to go back into your career. Obviously, you said that you've been with Orlando Credit Union for 16 years, which is a crazy amount of time to be with one specific company. It must mean that you really love what you do, huh?
I do love what I do, and that's because of the team I have and the members that we have and the relationships that are built every day.
Every time I seem to talk to a branch manager, no matter what branch it is, they always seem to say the same thing, which is that it's like a family environment.
It is a family. You start off with one member, and then the exceptional service that you provide, they send their family. We end up knowing their kids, their grandkids, their in-laws, their whoever, their cousins. They send them into us because of the exceptional service we provide.
Yeah, and I think that is so important that you just don't receive when you're looking at a really big bank. We are a local credit union. We are member focused. We want to, like you said, be connected with not only you, but your grandkids, maybe your grandparents, maybe your kids. So we want that family environment.
Yes, we definitely have it. And it's a great feeling, because the best compliment you can give me is to refer someone to me.
Exactly. And like I've mentioned, it seems like that is a really evident theme within all of our branches. I mean, every time I talk to someone, that's the biggest compliment I think you could receive working in a place where it really is about a financial aspect, which is such a personal thing. Your finances are very personal. So to be able to talk to someone who is trusted and is able to give you that financial advice that you need is so important. And like I said, it's what's missing with big banks. I walk into a big bank branch and I don't know the person necessarily that I'm talking to, but you walk into an Orlando Credit Union branch and we want to know how we can help you achieve your financial dreams, be the leader of your financial future, and we want to invest in you.
We definitely do, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the MSC, or Member Service Center. What is the MSC? Of course, we just clarified what that stands for, but what does it do on behalf of our members?
Well, the MSC department is the heart of the credit union. They are the first call to the credit union. If there's any issues going on with their account, they can help with resolution. If they just want to check their balance, if they want to apply for a loan, they are there to help members just like we are in person.
So you can really do anything you could do in person, essentially, with the Member Service Center, with some exceptions.
With the exception of cash. Yes, they can do everything a branch can over the phone.
And I think that really speaks to how things are moving these days with the way that we pay for things and the way that we make transactions. A lot of it is digital now. So it's very cool to see how the Member Service Center is taking that and running with it.
Yeah, which is great because our millennials love text, email. They don't like to talk on the phone as much. Yeah. So we have been able to enhance our products and services in our call center to be able to handle all situations.
And that's perfect, I think, because you mentioned millennials. A lot of us, I ride the cusp between millennial and Gen Z. So I was in that phase where when I got my first job when I was a teenager, I was cashing checks. And then you made the switch one day to taking a picture of it on your phone and cashing it through an app. So
Yes.
everything is just moving digitally. But what I love about the member service center is that for those people who might be a little bit more traditional, they're not necessarily comfortable using the app just yet, they can pick up the phone and call and still talk to that person who can connect with them on a deeper level.
Yes, they will take the time and make sure to walk you through the process and get you signed in to the online app and explain how it works and what enhancements it has on there for you to use.
So, what differentiates this operation from other credit union call centers?
Well, first of all, it is the exceptional service that we provide at the credit union, whether it's over the phone or in a branch, as well as us being local. We live and work in the area.
So, we understand exactly what somebody might be going through. We might understand, hey, if they mention a location of somewhere that they're going, you can really connect with them. And I feel like it just brings the person into who you're speaking with over the phone. It feels robotic a lot of times when you call a service center. I mean, we've all done it. You've had a question for maybe a huge company and you're sitting on hold for however long. But with us, it's somebody who you work with, you live with, you pass on the street.
Yes, we try to connect more on a personal level because we can see where you live and be like, hey, I live in your neighborhood. Have you ever tried eating at whatever restaurant it is?
Exactly. And like I said, financing is such a personal thing that you want to be able to connect with somebody who is looking at your finances, who is helping you walk through it. There are a lot of times where you might be embarrassed about maybe some kind of debt you might be in, or even with income. So to be able to talk to somebody who you can trust and who you can confide in and say, hey, what is the best route that I should be taking financially? It's so critical.
Right. Yes. And once we look at that, what they're coming in for may not be the best option for them. So we give them the options to see what's the better fit for them.
Yeah, and they might be sitting there thinking, oh, I don't want to ask about how to pay down my debt because, I don't love the number that I have on my debt. So, but being able to speak to someone and say, hey, you know what, if you do A, B, and C, we can actually bring that down a lot quicker than you've already been doing.
And we do that every day.
Yes.
So, yes.
I love that. Another question that I think is really important is, we see a lot of members traveling. All of us love to take a nice vacation every once in a while, but sometimes there are those moments where you say, oh, I need to talk to somebody about my finances, and you might not necessarily be in the state. You might not be close to a branch. If I'm on a vacation up in New York City or maybe out in LA, are you able to help any member no matter where they're calling from?
Absolutely. We can help them, whether it's canceling their card or disputing an item, or if their card was stolen, we do participate in what's called shared branching. We can find another credit union local where they can go in with their ID and be able to make a withdrawal so they have cash and can continue on with their vacation with no interruptions.
That's so important. And I do want to talk, I'm going to go a little bit off topic, shared branching.
Yes.
Explain what that is, because it's so, so important, especially for those members that are traveling a lot.
It is. It's a network of credit unions that participate. They're all over the United States and in certain countries that allow other credit union members to go in to do basic teller transactions, whether it's a cash withdrawal, a cash deposit, or make a loan payment. You're able to do that even if you're not in our area.
And that's so important. Like we talked about, if you're on vacation and maybe you wanted to stick with cash and you come and realize you didn't bring enough for the trip, you can just pop into a shared branch. So
that is correct.
It's very helpful.
We actually have more locations than the bigger banks when we consider our shared branch network.
That's awesome. And again, when you are local, again, you get that connection with the the team members who are working with you to help those finances. So we're going to talk about hurricanes now, because in Florida, of course, we have hurricanes and things are now becoming normalized again after COVID. A lot of changes are being made. How does the Member Service Center manage responding to members in times of crisis? Because there are those moments where everything's hitting the fan and you're like, I don't know what to do if a hurricane happens and I don't have enough cash on me and the banks are closed because of the crisis that we're in. What are we able to do to help those members?
Well, we do have strategic plans set in place, so we will have our member service center operational. As I said, we do live in the area, so we're going through what you're going through, but we want to make sure we're there for you too, and we understand what's happening in the area. So we do have the strategic plan to make sure you can get cash, whether it's at one of our locations or any Publix Presto machine is free for our credit union members to use. So they can go to a Publix Presto and make a cash withdrawal out of there anytime.
And the member service center is there to speak to those members and explain those things to them and
Yes.
give them the options. Because I know when a hurricane comes, especially if you might be new to Florida, maybe we are seeing a lot more people retiring down here and relocating down here. You don't know what to do when a hurricane first happens. So calling up the member service center and then being able to calm you down, walk you through it and say, hey, I am, just a couple miles away. I'm dealing with the same thing, but here is exactly what you need to do.
And also probably help them make sure they have their little hurricane kit available and what needs to be inside.
And that's important too, because, like we've talked about, and the reoccurring theme that we've kind of chatted about is that we want to be so much more than that financial institution for people. We want to be the friend, the family member, the neighbor, and being able to say, okay, here, let's get your finances in order for a crisis. Now let's take a step back and see what you need to do to make sure on a personal level that you're safe and secure.
Yes.
So what do you think about how much banking has changed in the last 5 years due to regulations and environmental factors? And how does your department respond to that?
Well, we're changing with them to make sure there's products and services that we can, provide to them with the changes that are coming. So we are continually enhancing on the services and the products that we offer to fit member needs.
Exactly. And also, along with enhancing those products and services, the Member Service Center is a testament to the fact that we're growing with how things are moving digitally as well.
Yes, they can handle your calls, your emails, your online chats, whatever it is, they're there to help.
So I want to touch on the credit union's launch of a charitable foundation that will allow anyone in the U.S. to donate and potentially join the credit union through some kind of affiliation. So if that does happen, how would that change your department's response to members across not only Central Florida, but the U.S.?
Well, this would be a great opportunity for the credit union. It would enhance the service areas that we can handle and the people that we can reach out to and also help and provide this exceptional service that we're doing right now in Florida. It's a great opportunity for members outside of the area to come join our great organization.
I know. I am hearing about how this could potentially be, and I think it'll really be a great way to show people across the country how member-centric we really try to be and how we try to have those connections. Because if we start developing those connections across the country too, I think that'll be huge.
Yes, we don't want to just meet your needs, we want to exceed them.
I love that.
Yes.
As we wrap up, what about your service offerings do you want to leave listeners with?
Well, I've been here 16 years and there's a reason for that. So if you want exceptional service, come join our credit union. You will not be disappointed. You can reach out via phone, email, stop into any one of our local branches. We love to have you. Please come in and see us.
I love that. It's such a great welcome environment in all of our branches across Central Florida. Thank you so much, Kim.
It was my pleasure. Thank you, Kaylee.
Yeah. To learn about Orlando Credit Union's wide variety of products, you can head to our website at orlandocreditunion.org. Until next time, we're investing in you. Orlando Credit Union is providing this podcast as a public service. The information provided is neither a legal interpretation nor a statement of Orlando Credit Union policy. Reference to any specific product does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by the credit union. Views and opinions expressed by Orlando Credit Union employees are those of the employees and do not necessarily reflect the views of the credit union or any of its officers. Orlando Credit Union is not providing any financial, economic, legal, accounting, or tax advice or or recommendations in this podcast.